get to that solution. And what is that solution? There are 3 key steps we need to do. First, we need a clear, positive vision as to where we're going in Michigan's future. We've had a fabulous history, but it is time to start a new era in our state. We had the natural resources era in the 1800s, we had the industrial era in the 1900s. Just think about how we revolutionized the world both times. But the interesting part, the challenging part in the Industrial Revolution, which we did in so many great areas, is we got too complacent and too content around 1950 or so. We got into saying, how do we protect what we have rather than reinventing ourselves? So we've been declining gradually at first and really dropping off a cliff the last few years. So in my view, instead of putting band-aids on an area that's run its course, let's be proud of what we accomplished. Let's learn our lessons, and let's start a new era. It's time. And what do I call that era? I actually call it the era of innovation. And why do I say the era of innovation? If you go back to both those 2 prior eras, underlying the industrial era, the natural resources era, the thing that made us really great was innovation and entrepreneurship. It was that spirit where we changed the world. Not just Michigan, we changed the world. And it's time to get that spirit back. It's in all of us. And let's be proud of that. And let's go out and do it 3 key ways. First, there's an economic part. It's about creating a globally competitive economy, offering increasing prosperity to you and our families. It's about quality of life. We have fabulous natural resources in this state. That's one of the great assets we've had. We're truly blessed with the Great Lakes, the 11,000 lakes. I'm a Gun Lake boy nearby, so I can appreciate that. Hopefully you can too. We're going to have to work harder to protect them. We have threats like Asian carp. We need to enhance them. We need to enjoy them. We need to market them more. But we also need to do something else besides our natural resources. It's our central cities. We have to restore our central cities. Now this area is a good role model for good success, but there's more work to be done. A lot of good things have happened in this area. Grand Rapids, good things. But we need to make this continue on a positive path. In particular, for Michigan to be a great state, Detroit has to be on the path to being a great city again. We've got to make that happen. And then tying into both those topics of the economy and quality of life is the 3rd pillar. It's about our young people. And it's great to have some young people here today. Because we have got to create an environment where young people not only want to stay, but can stay and have a family and a career. Because we're losing those young people at an alarming rate. And to many of us, it's very personal. To me, it's very personal. Sue and I, we have 3 kids. Our oldest son, Jeff, just graduated from college, so he's out looking for a job. It's awful out there. Our near-term solution was to have him work on the campaign, but we only have like 8 days left. So if you look at the era, those pillars, that's a Michigan in the future that we can work and win together in as Michiganders, and we'll be a great state. So how do we get there? A plan, a 10-point plan. And I'm not doing all 10, so don't panic. A couple I'll highlight though. First on the list is the need for more and better jobs. Now the role of government is not to create jobs, it's to create an environment where jobs can flourish. And what are the drivers of that? One of the first things we need to do is business tax reform. It is time to eliminate the Michigan business tax. It is fundamentally unfair, and I propose to replace it with a flat 6% corporate net income tax. Simple, fair, and efficient. Now, our regulatory system's also messed up, and I know I could collect stories here. Everyone from the outdoors person to the business person. Now, it's not just the amount of regulation, but it's Lansing's attitude. There's an attitude in Lansing that people are bad and should be controlled. That's backward. The average person is a good, honest person. The average organization are good, honest people trying to do good things. We need to treat people that way and change that setting from penalizing people to helping people succeed. So in things like permitting, the state should have short but reasonable waiting periods. If the state doesn't respond, your permit should automatically issue. You should be able to go do your activity and succeed. That's what should happen. Now that ties to government itself. It is time for bureaucracy to go away. It is time for customer service government. It is time to start treating you, the citizen, as the customer. It is time to start looking at life through your eyes and asking two simple questions. How do we help you succeed, and how do we get out of your way? And when we ask for $1 of revenue to pay for something, instead of just taking your money and spending your money, we need to show you value for money. We need to show you that those dollars are going to meaningful, measurable, tangible outcomes that positively impact real people. That's the government you deserve. That's the government you're going to get. Now, action. We need to take action to make this happen. Now, one thing I'll cover with you in our culture in this state is it's time for a change. We've been beaten up for so many years, we've got our heads down too much. We've become too negative. We've lost that fire to believe in extraordinary things, the way we have to get back. And one other thing that's come with it is we've gotten too much of a win-lose attitude, where too often people believe they've won something because someone else has lost. And that happens in partisanship, happens in geography between parts of the state, happens in racial and ethnic issues, and every time that attitude shows up, every Michigander loses something. So let's get this new culture going. And what are the three key dimensions we need to make happen, and we will make happen? It is time to stop being negative and start being positive. It is time to stop looking in the rearview mirror and start looking towards the future. It is time to stop being divisive with a win-lose attitude and be inclusive and win together. As Michiganders, we will make this happen with a positive spirit. And I believe it's already started. We don't need to wait. And why can I say that? How can I say that? Well, I'm very proud to say we had a big win in the primary. Really surprised people. People are going, what happened? How did that happen? I can tell you why. And it has nothing to do with me. The reason why it happened is when I looked in the eyes of our volunteers, they had a sparkle, a twinkle, a fire, a passion that you didn't see in the other campaigns. There were some good, well-intentioned candidates with great volunteers, but those people were there to beat someone else. The people on our campaign that had that fire, that passion, were not there to beat someone else. They were there for Michigan's future. They were looking out for the future of our state and how we can work and win together. And that's the challenge we face. This is not just an election for governor. This is not about the next 8 days, although I sure need your help. This is about reinventing Michigan. This is about fundamentally reinventing our state in a positive, forward-looking, inclusive fashion, saying, here is a vision, here is a plan, let's take action as Michiganders and create that environment where we're working and winning together. By doing that, that's how we will create more and better jobs. We will keep our young people here, and we will be a great state. I am absolutely fired up. I am fired up for November 2nd. I am fired up for next year. That's the passion and fire we need to have grow and intensify. I can see that fire and passion in your eyes. Now, as Chuck said, we need to take that fire and passion and go out to our neighbors, our friends, and pass the word just as Chuck said. It's about getting 10 million people on board. It is time as Michiganders to speak up. We're going to become a great state again with your support. Let's make it happen. Thank you so much.